Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I'm seeing that we already have some people online joining us tonight, so that's very exciting. Feel free to drop a note in the chat, everyone. We've got this little chat bar, which we definitely invite you all to say hello. Hello, Gabriella. Thanks for chiming in. We've got some people joining. So first and foremost, as more people trickle into the audience, I want to welcome everybody and thank you so much for joining us today for the 2026 Medspa Growth Playbook. Really exciting event for you guys tonight. I'm Nicole and I'm thrilled to be your host for the Glass team. So yeah, really excited to have you guys here. Love seeing the love in the chat already. Thanks, everybody. Cool. Okay, well, we've got a lot of ground to cover. So really quickly, I'm going to introduce the topic for this evening. So, if you're a med spa owner and you're ready to stop guessing and start dominating in the market this coming year, you're absolutely in the right place. We know that med spa and aesthetics is a crowded space and it's harder than ever to break through and get the growth you deserve. That's why we've gathered these three successful, amazing owners here tonight to pull back the curtain on the exact strategies, metrics, and systems that they are using to achieve their massive growth. And ensure that 2026 is going to be their best year yet. So today we're going to break down how to accelerate growth, uncover hidden revenue, and scale without all of that chaos that can come with, that growth. So with that, I'm going to kind of kick it over to our panelists. So I'm thrilled to introduce all three of these amazing ladies. But I'm going to have each one go around and share a little bit about themselves and their business. So Abby, maybe alphabetical order. Let's start with you. Tell us about yourself.
Hi, my name is Abby Melendez. I am a licensed esthetician and content creator here in Houston, Texas. If anybody is from Texas, hi. I specialize in advanced skincare with technology, but I also like to mix in the holistic approach. I'm a very person that loves meditation, massages. So I really like when clients are able to bring that home with them. And this is the reason why I started becoming an esthetician, was to inspire others. I understand how busy life can get. And my mission is just to bring women together, help them understand their skin while still promoting self-care. And for my estheticians as well, I'm here to also coach you and guide you for you to scale your business in the most softest way possible.
Amazing intro, Abby. Camila,
you wanna go ahead?
Go ahead.
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm super excited to be here. My name is Kamila, and I'm the owner of Luna Beauty Lounge in Destin, Florida. I'm originally from Russia, and I started my career in beauty industry as a lash artist. And then over time, I got into skincare. I got more passionate about that, so I shifted my focus towards advanced skincare treatments. And then the last few years, I've grown from a solo esthetician to running a fully booked beauty studio, expanding my menu, having employees, training students, increasing my sales, retail sales. I'm really passionate about the client experience, and I'm super excited to see how my business is growing and where it's going to bring me in the future.
Awesome. Terica, let's hear about you.
Hi, everybody. I'm super excited and happy to be here with y'all this evening. I'm Terica Page.RN on Instagram. My name is Terica Wright. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I own Dallas Aesthetic Studio here in Dallas downtown. I started out my career originally as a ICU nurse. I've been a nurse since 2015. And then after COVID, transitioned into aesthetics. With my aesthetic career, I focus mainly on full facial balancing and injectables. So kind of just giving you the overall experience of giving you the background of nursing as well as aesthetics to make you feel good in a safe way. As far as my business, Dallas Aesthetic Studio, I've been open about 3.5, 4 years. And within those 3.5 years, I have really been able to grow my business and grow my audience as well as my clientele through pre-education and just making sure that I'm very transparent with care, making my clients feel safe and just overall getting a very transformative experience.
Amazing. Thanks, Terica. And thank you all for being here with us tonight. I'm really excited to kind of dive into everything you guys have to share. So much invaluable learning in there. But yeah, with that, Before we kind of get into the meat of tonight's program, I want to open things up to our audience a little bit. So, you guys are already kind of in the chat. Some people have shared where they're dialing in from, but if you haven't yet, let us know your name, where you're based, and what you do. We love to know who is with us in the audience. And I also just want to share, you guys can feel free to drop any questions that are coming to mind live as we're going through the program. We are going to have dedicated time at the end for Q&A, so we'll try to answer some things as we go. We'll do a little bit as we kind of, really dive in. And anyway, really excited to kind of answer all of your questions and give you guys some good info tonight. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of people chime in. We've got people from Georgia, Texas, Louisiana, oh my gosh, Memphis, Connecticut, Florida. Okay, Dallas is representing, and Houston. So we've got a lot of representation for you guys here tonight. That's exciting. California, amazing. We'll keep it coming, keep that engagement going, and kind of keep dropping those questions and thoughts in the chat as we go. We're excited to hear from you all tonight. Amazing. Well, let's dive in. So our first segment tonight is around going deep on some of the most powerful ways to accelerate growth, which is strong and consistent branding and marketing. So to kind of put a wrapper around this, I want to kind of pose a question to this group here, this amazing group of business owners. If you had to distill your personal Medspa growth playbook for 2026, what is the single most core non-negotiable strategy for your business? And Terica, let's maybe start with you, and then we can kind of go round robin and jump in.
Something that I kind of just like touched on in my introduction. I feel like pre-education is a very, very important thing to make sure that you're bringing in a good, consistent clientele. As far as pre-education, clients knowing exactly what they can and cannot do prior to treatment, post-treatment. And that's something that Gloss Genius has really helped with by making sure that each client gets pre-treatment forms, post-treatment forms, understanding the process pre and prior. As well as just marketing on Instagram. I feel like the way I market myself on Instagram, I kind of created a niche for my clients to kind of see that not only am I providing these treatments, but I'm educating you prior, kind of going through it completely, totality, making sure that you completely understand what you're getting into before you get there. And then also understanding why exactly you're receiving what treatment that you're receiving.
Love that. Yeah, definitely important to make sure that you're kind of building that rapport and that trust with clients, establishing yourself as an expert. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
Abby, Kamila, either one of you guys want to jump in with a thought?
Well, for me, the biggest strategy into 2026 is providing a truly seamless client experience. Why? Because I feel like our beauty industry is super overcrowded right now, and over-competitive. So the clients right now are not choosing you only for your treatments and results you give, but they also choosing you for overall experience they have throughout the entire process. Right. And when I say seamless experience, I mean everything beyond the treatment itself. When it comes from the very, very beginning, when they just book the appointment, how easy is it for them, how easy the checkout process is, how they have some options for checkout, how they get the reminders, messages from us, and to the small details of the overall atmosphere in your studio, like even the smallest things like making them some coffee, giving them blanket, or giving them the phone chargers. All of those details connect the clients to you and make more like emotional connection between you. That, I think, which is the most important strategy for personally me.
Love that. Really great stuff.
Yeah.
Abby.
I will agree with both of you ladies. Those are amazing answers. And same thing, client experience, but I would say consistency with every client. Making sure that I'm not just providing that like as a one-time thing, making sure that I'm doing that throughout the whole entire year, and going back to like non-negotiable branding, because branding is who you are and how you show yourself on social media. People almost get like, they see what they're about to experience before they get into the treatment room. So when you're able to provide that experience online, for example, I'm a content creator, and I really intentionally try to provide the type of vibe that I'm going to give to my clients once they get here. So that kind of ties into my personal branding, but going into the 2026 year is like whenever you feel burnt out and you feel like you cannot be as consistent with every single client, that's where I started learning a lot about systems and delegating and learning how to like slow down and be way more consistent and intentional with every single client and every single appointment. And I love exactly what you said, like making sure that the aromatherapy is there, right? Because it's all about the client experience and how they're able to feel all of their senses, from the visual, if it looks clean, from how it smells, like all of that ties to your own personal brand. So branding, systems, and consistency would be my top 3.
Amazing. And this kind of gets to this slide here, which I'm just going to share because I know you mentioned a lot about, personal brand and that consistency across it. All 3 of you guys do an absolutely incredible job of creating that 360 online, offline, really clear brand that, the clients can actually live and experience in the space too. So kind of diving a little deeper here. And by the way, these are 3 examples from your guys' Instagrams, which we pulled, which we were obsessed with. Speaking of personal brand, what do you think is the single biggest factor that sets your business apart in such a crowded market, like we mentioned? And perhaps, Abby, let's maybe get your thoughts there as kind of an extension of your last answer.
So it's funny because it's called personal brand, right? But we don't make it personal. And I think that it's really easy to compare your branding to somebody else and maybe want to like mimic that branding. And for me, my personal brand started with figuring out myself and figuring out who I am in business as well. And I knew from the get-go that my personal brand is going to be something that I can easily relate to. It's not really something that's far, where it's like not something that's easy for me to do. So for example, like going back to, I'm a person that really is very intuitive and likes meditation and like the holistic side of it. But my approach was holistic, but I still love the clinical side. It doesn't mean that I have to like separate both of them. That's what makes my personal brand unique, is combining both worlds together. So that's just as far as the experience. But then if you take a look at the middle picture, my whole vibe is purple, right? So the color purple represents tranquility. And then if you take a look at my studio, there's touches of lavender, even down to the scent, it's lavender. Why? Because lavender represents relaxation. So I'm very, very, very intentional when it comes to like branding on social media. If you take a look at my social media, every single one of my videos are consistent and it has a unique vibe. Even if I'm making a funny like meme, it'll be still tied to my branding. It'll still be me. I'm not gonna make something that doesn't relate to me. So my suggestion will be figure out yourself, figure out what you like, really, really be intentional and script everything down. What colors do you want for your palette? Who's your ideal clientele? How do you see yourself in the position as your own business? All of those little things add up to your own personal brand. And because it's your own personal brand, you become really unique. So I say, stay authentic. Don't try to mimic other people. It's okay to get inspired, but I really want you to challenge yourself to think about little things that you may find weird that other people could relate to.
That's amazing. I love this idea of, I was going to say, I just love this idea of like bringing together what makes you with something that is going to appeal to your potential customer. And I think there's something really exciting to kind of mine in there. Just wanted to plus one that idea. Amazing. Well, let's maybe see, Terica, do you have any reactions to this original question too?
I would say as far as personal branding, a big thing that I kind of put on every single picture is dish the filter, as you can see like on the screen. I always try to give my clients the experience that I want. So it kind of like piggybacks a little bit off of what Abby was saying. And I think that is where a lot of people mess up. I teach as well. I feel like a lot of time when I teach, all of the nurses are able to grasp the anatomy of it. They're able to grasp the technique of it. But when it comes to customer service, they aren't able to grasp that You want to make sure that you're actually giving your client the exact same experience if you walked into the door that you wanted to receive. As far as the digital filter part, I want all of my clients to really feel as if they're comfortable to walk outside, no makeup, no filter, just themselves and presenting themselves daily without any issues. So as far as personal brand, I think that it kind of ties up what Abby was saying. Be yourself. And then always, I mean, this sounds so like small and cliche, but treat others how you would want to be treated. And I promise you will always have a growing clientele. They'll be loving to you. They'll always come back to you, and they'll always tell others about you.
Yeah, there's something to, you know, these are sayings that exist for a reason, right? they really do mean something. But it's true. It's so real. Kamila, I wonder if you have any thoughts you want to share?
Well, for me, probably the biggest thing that set my business apart is the combination of my expertise, education, and aesthetic of my studio. I invest a lot in my own education, but as much as I invest a lot of education of my clients, I always break down every step of their treatment so they understand what are they doing, why they're doing that. I educate them on the products they use and or I use for them in their office. And I focus on both in-office and online education. But as important as education, the atmosphere in the studio is. Clients do not, as I said before, like clients do not remember only the treatment they got or how their skin felt, but they remember all the process. So from the moment they walk into your studio, you gotta meet them nicely with a smile, of course, and nice smell, nice music, just overall calm vibe. All of that in blend of the expertise, education, and the atmosphere in your studio. All of that that's truly sets my business apart from all others.
Love that. Amazing. So I'm wondering, I kind of want to turn this question to the chat because I bet some people have some thoughts on this too. You know, for everybody who's here with us tonight, how do you feel that your brand sets apart from others that are in the market? Like, how are you differentiating? Feel free to drop a little comment and we'll keep moving here. But I wonder if we can kind of inspire each other with some other ideas too, because this is all really exciting. I feel like people are getting their creative juices are flowing. People are looking to grow. So it's good. I love to see that. Well, while you guys are typing, which feel free to do, please. I see several people are, and I can't wait to see what you guys have to say. I want to move us to our next slide here. So through the last couple of questions, you know, coming up a couple of times I noticed is showing up online. How do we show up online? How do we market our unique offering to our potential customers, our existing customers? And so, Kamila, maybe we can start with you on this one. What's your most effective digital marketing strategy right now? Whether it's email, text, specific social media content, something else when it comes to bringing in new clients. And I also just want to give a plug for all of these examples here are from you guys too. Again, some of the things that you guys have been posting that we've been absolutely loving. So Kamila, I wonder if you have any reactions to that question.
Well, for me, the most effective digital strategy is simply showing up consistently. I focus on two main channels for the marketing. One is social media content, Instagram, and the second is SMS and email marketing through the Gloss Genius. And in the marketing, you have to understand that one text message will not bring your client. Two free text messages will not probably guarantee you any results neither. But when you are consistently communicate with your clients, when you are showing up, when your clients see your name, the name of your brand pop up regularly, you are staying on top of their mind. And that's where the actual connection is built. And that's what exactly going to work. And another thing for the social media marketing, I always believe that you have to introduce your personal brand into your social media marketing. You have to show your personal content as well. You have to show some personal facts about you or your employees, show your life sometimes. Even when you make some just regular funny reels, it's already built more trust and more connection with your clients. And that's what make your potential clients choose you over their other providers.
Love that. And I think there is something so, you know, in today's super digital world where people are very online, they do want to get to know you, and that's an avenue to do it.
Yes.
So I think that's a very fair call out. Abby, I wonder if you have any thoughts on this one too.
I have, oh my God, marketing is my favorite thing to do because I get to be like a true creative. I really enjoy content creation. So of course I'm on social media, I'm on TikTok, and TikTok is it's a platform where you can be more relatable. I would say Instagram is a platform where you could show your expertise and like show the visuals, right? So people find me in both ways. So they get to know my personality before they actually come to the studio. Now, as far as for my existing clients, I am trying to always be on the top of their heads too. Like social text marketing, one, it has been amazing. Email marketing has been great because I'm able to use Canva and like edit my emails to make it like have a picture now, which I think you guys did that recently this year.
Yep.
So that has been really nice. I try to do that weekly. So I do product of the week, I do service of the week. Right now is Black Friday. So we're working on the Black Friday. So we're going to launch that soon. And my clients are probably like, I'm so excited. And then the last thing that I've been doing, which is super effective, and I think this is something that we've forgotten. We do live in a digital world, but we still have our community in our city as well too. And I recently did a big move this year to Spring, Texas, and this is a new community for me. So I started doing like vendor events, and of course like having a nice website and business cards. All of that ties into like how they're going to perceive you before they come in to get a facial. So all of that shows professionalism on showing up in public, making that community with even like other people in the service industry. It doesn't have to be estheticians, it can be lash techs, and really building that community in person, online, and then doing the marketing weekly when it comes to text and email marketing has been so helpful. And I've definitely seen a big difference when I stay on top of that.
Yeah, that's such a good call out to Abby around images in marketing. So that's a new feature with Gloss Genius where you can add images to your marketing messages that you're sending out. So for those of you who've maybe tried Gloss Genius in the past, or maybe you just haven't dove into some of the new features, definitely check that out because that's a fun one. But I also want to plus up one other thing you shared, which was about getting out in the community. And I feel like when I speak to a lot of really, really, successful owners in, whether it's in Medspa world or in hair world or you name it, that seems to be something that really does help make those connections with people in real life and with other business owners too. So I love that. It's a good one. Terica, over to you. Let's get your thoughts.
Of course, Instagram, social media marketing. Just like Abby and Kamila, I'm on Instagram as well as TikTok. As far as Instagram marketing, I kind of created a niche of just making sure, not making sure, but going over, as you can see on the screen, like celebrities. People really love to feel relatable to celebrities. And then also knowing exactly what a celebrity may or may have not done has really brought in clients because when it's not just me showing before and afters. It's also them looking at people that they may have thought that didn't get anything done, seeing they before and seeing how minor tweaks can make such a big difference. So that has really brought in a lot of clientele for me. As far as text messages, I really love the Gloss Genius text messaging feature because previously I paid for a complete different service. And even with that service, the text messages were kind of limited. With this, I love that it already has all of your clientele base in there. Even if they only signed up for like a consultation, they never even really just like came in before they even on your wait list, they're already in there and you're able to send a text message out to them whenever you're having any type of sales or events. And then as well, like what Abby said, something that a lot of people have let go of that I have really made sure to do is create a community of everybody around me. So when it comes to all the estheticians, all the lash artists, hairstylists, anybody that's in my direct area, whenever I moved, I made sure to go ahead and reach out to them as well as referring clientele to them and them referring clientele back. Creating a community, one, it allows it allows a trickle of other clients from other service providers, but also too, it kind of just shows that you're kind of like a girl's girl. Like I'm really kind of playing on everybody's team, making sure that everybody knows, like, I'm not here to step on your toes. I'm here to help everyone grow.
That's awesome. I love this idea of like, let's succeed together. Let's lift everybody together. I think that's beautiful. Amazing. Keisha, I see your comment. I'm learning so much. Good. That's awesome. That's our goal. So again, keep those comments coming. Any questions you guys have, to love to keep hearing those. Well, thanks, ladies. That was a very inspiring segment, if I do say so. I'm going to move on to our next section here. So, at Gloss Genius, we also know that another important aspect of steady growth is diving deep on your numbers, including keeping a close pulse on metrics, searching out new ways to be operationally efficient, and looking for ways that you can opportunistically grow revenue. And what we know about the med spa world is that the overhead costs can be very high. So owners need to be super tuned in to their business performance to ensure profitability, and clear, actionable reporting like what we're able to provide at Gloss Genius can really help you make those smarter decisions and uncover areas where your business could be more performant. So with that in mind, I want to turn over to you guys. Other than gross revenue, which I think is the main one, those headline sales numbers that we all look at, is there any other key metric that you track closely that lets you know how your business is performing and if it's growing or not? And Terica, I would love to get your take on this one first. Any thoughts coming to mind?
I would say client retention. Client retention is something that I track, especially with my clients having to come so far out. With Botox, you get Botox every 3 to 4 months. With facial filler, I try not to see my clients more than every 9 to 12 months. So I do try to track client retention. With tracking client retention, that allows me to kind of pre-book my next calendar. If I know that the same 70 people are going to come back in 3 to 4 months, I know that my gross revenue should be about the same and I shouldn't have too much to worry about. So that's why I really love Gloss Genius, because it's not just a booking system. You can really sit down and look at all your analytics and make sure that you're actually growing as a business and not just consistently running a business and not really making any money.
So true. Retention, I think, is very underrated as something to keep an eye on. So thanks for sharing that, Terica. Abby, I want to turn over to you. Anything pop to mind for you?
Yeah, I love looking at my analytics at least weekly. I really make it intentional. What I like to do is also, because I've been in business for 3 years, so seeing my first year, how much I made that year, how much I made in 2024, how much I made in 2025, that has pushed me to see overall, throughout the years, I have been growing, because you can also put a lot of pressure on numbers. So I try to really be nice to myself and tell myself, okay, what, we have been growing. And I also like to peek into the future a little bit. So I like to look at my 30-day projection, and that makes me feel okay, next month, I'm for sure going to secure this amount of money in 30 days. That on its own feels really nice, because sometimes I can get stressed and for no reason, right? For no reason. And then I look at my 30-day projection, I'm like, oh, we're fine. We're literally fine. We have clients next month, and as well as looking for my December books and seeing how I already have people, and seeing even wait lists. Wait list is another one that I know that, okay, my business is growing because my books are filled and there are people waiting to see me. All of that, I'm like, okay, we've been growing. I've been taking a look at my analytics and my sales report too. I like to really look at my sales report, and my retail sales report is another way that I also like, because I do both. I like looking at my sales report as far as my facials and my services, and then my retail is another one that I really, really look at, and I like to combine them both together.
Amazing. And I think there is something really helpful to call out there around zooming out, to your point, looking at year on year, not just focusing on week to week, but zooming out and understanding, how have things transformed since day one. First of all, probably keeps you motivated, but also helps you understand the bigger picture, and maybe something I'm doing now is working differently than what it was last year. So I think that's a really great call out. Kamila, I'll turn it over to you.
I totally agree with both girls. As Terica mentioned, for me, a very important metric to track is client retention and booking rate, because it also shows your trust, how your clients trust you and how they value your business. And how Abby said that it's important to compare the monthly reports. I also like to looking even in my weekly reports, especially appointments volume or the revenue. Because I can do those, small adjustments and see what immediate and small actions I can take to increase something, make something better. Either I need to attract some new clients, or I want to give more attention to my marketing, or if I should reach to my usual clients. That's just the small details I can adjust right now at the moment.
That makes a lot of sense, and I agree. Like there's this kind of fun thing about keeping that week over week, day over day kind of calibration going. And I think the tools in Gloss Genius make it easy to both zoom in and zoom out. So I want to give a quick plug. So, the ladies here talked a lot about the analytics tools in Gloss Genius, but just to give you guys a taste of what that looks like, you're able to really get actionable insights to help you reach your personal goals, your team's goals, everything from sales reports to retail totals to projected revenue to booking utilization and client retention, to be able to pull and understand how things are going. I also want to give a little plug to goal setting. So to Camila's point around like micro calibration, we have this thing in Gloss Genius called goal setting. Basically, it enables you to set goals, to grow revenue, motivate yourself and your team. And I wonder, do one of you guys want to speak on your experience with goal setting? I feel like I have a feeling at least one of you guys uses it and enjoys it. Curious if anybody wants to jump in and share a little bit about how it's been working for you.
I love it. Like I'm so glad I made that upgrade because I like all of the features that it has. Because when it comes to my admin days, I get to numbers don't lie. That's one thing I've learned. Numbers don't lie, and it makes it so much easier to see it in a structured way. And Gold has offered like so many new features, and even down to my website. I've been able to change my website template to a new one, which looks a lot more modern, and it looks like somebody made it for me when it literally didn't even take that long. So yeah, the Gold settings definitely I love.
I like that feature too, because it's also motivate you a lot. Like you see the numbers and it's already in your brain, like, okay, I gotta do something. And you're motivating yourself to hit that goal weekly. And whenever you see, because you can see that goal every week, and then you have a report that weekly goal if you achieved it, and also you can see how you did in the past month, did all that goals for every week. And it's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I would say the same. Usually by the middle of the week, like I've either like met my goal or I'm like, okay, like what's going on? So I love that by the end of the week, it's like, okay, you were able to meet your goal. And like Kamila said, it'll tell you exactly how you met your goal. And then also too, like Abby said, it kind of give you like a little like, oh, okay, like I can do better than I did last week if I just change this or if I just pay attention to that. So yeah, I really love the goal setting.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Chelsea, I see you have a question here, and we'll probably dive into this a little bit more in the Q&A section. But what's neat about features like goal setting is it does translate to both a solo or team environment. So, you're able to have team members set those individual goals too, and, kind of inspire that culture of healthy competition with oneself. And it kind of creates this built-in way to do, training and upskilling and kind of helping people along and becoming more successful as team members too. So just want to give a little plug for that. But yeah, with that, I know we talked a little bit earlier about retention, and I know that that's a really exciting and an important metric for all of you guys as you think about success and growth of your business. But I'm wondering, how important is pre-booking to your business, and what is the process that you have in place for making sure that clients lock in their next appointment before they leave in order to secure that steady revenue? And Abby, maybe let's start with you. Get your take on pre-booking and how that works.
So one, you definitely just start with the client experience, right? You want to make sure that they feel valued, they feel safe, but most importantly, you're providing that education. So before I even talk about pre-booking, I set their skincare routine. So this is what you're going to be using for us to get to your skincare goals. And once we set a routine, then we're going to set treatment plan. So it's not just like a one-time thing. You see me for relaxation and then bye. It's like, okay, this is what I'm going to do on a monthly basis. This is the skincare products that I'm going to use. And then providing the education as to why they're using a certain product. So for example, if I'm retailing them a moisturizer, I'm not just going to say, oh, this moisturizer is good for dry skin. okay, I can get any moisturizer that is good for dry skin. But if I provide the education as far as why this specific moisturizer is good for dry skin, providing the ingredients list and breaking it down for them, because you don't want to overcomplicate it for them to be like, oh, I don't know what you just said. But in a way where you can explain to them, one, they need to feel cared for. So you got to make sure that you're explaining it in a way where they actually care, where you actually care as well. And then I'm explaining it in a way where I'm providing value in education. So by the time that we get to these pre-booking, I call it assuming the sell. I'm already assuming that they're going to pre-book for their next month. So it's already, and if they don't, I don't pressure them either. I'm not like, well, you want to give them that grace of people are working 9 to 5s. Not many of us have the luxury to just take a day off, But what I like about Gloss Genius, it has a reminder feature. So even if I aren't able to pre-book them due to scheduling, I send them a reminder every 4 weeks whenever their appointment is due. And that's how I still continue keeping them in the back of their minds of me. But because I already provided the education, I already provided the experience, they're going to think about that. And clients really do think about that because they leave with education, they leave with feeling good, and they leave confident, honestly, making them excited for their next appointment. And I like switching things up too. Like I make sure that this is just as exciting for me to see them on a monthly basis.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love this idea about, Gloss Genius kind of having your back, where if you're not able to pre-book them in person, you can always send them that reminder and work on getting them in later on too. So fantastic call out there. Kamila, I wonder if you have any thoughts you want to share?
Well, pre-booking the same is extremely important to my business because it helps to keep my schedule more stable and predictable. But as Abby said, it's very important for the clients, and I always try to educate them as well, because if they are pre-booked, they're going to stay consistent on their treatments as well, on their treatment plan. So that's where they're going to see the best of the benefits from our appointments and achieve the goal faster and better. But also my process of pre-booking is really simple. I just but I suggest them on when they should come in. Depends on their skin goals, needs, and their treatment plan, because for somebody it can be 2 weeks, for somebody it can be 3 weeks. So whenever we're done with the facial, let's say I always let them know that, hey, your timeline is 4 weeks. Would you like to set up a next appointment? And I understand that it's life and not everybody know their schedule right away. And just as Abby said, where those genius reminders come to help us. And another thing which I love about it, because same, you can adjust those reminders depends on your client's goals and needs. So if somebody needs to come in every 2 weeks, for example, for the chemical peel, let's say, you can set up your reminder in 1 week so they have a full week to schedule their appointment. Or if somebody needs to come in 6 weeks, you just set a reminder for 5 weeks so they have another time, a little bit more time to set that appointment. And it's very adjustable. So it's really easy for both me and my clients.
Thanks for sharing that, Kamila. That's awesome. I'm glad that's working so well for you. Terica, I wonder if you can jump in and share your reactions.
As far as pre-booking for me, it kind of goes along with the same thing, especially with me doing facial balancing. Different areas of your face are going to need to be maintenance at different times, as well as different injectable treatments have different amount of times that they last. So making sure that whenever prior to treatment, we go through maintenance times for each individual treatment, after treatment, going through maintenance times for each individual treatment. And then when it's time to book, say, okay, so your Botox will wear off in 3 to 4 months. That will be the closest thing to me needing to see you again. Let's set your reminder for about 9 to 12 weeks so that you'll get a reminder about 3 weeks prior, if they're not ready to pre-book at that time. But if they are ready to pre-book at that time, I do take full advantage of that because, like Kamila said, it gives a lot of stability to your schedule. And if you can get those same clients on schedule every 3 to 4 months, the same clients on schedule once a year, you'll be fully booked out.
Amazing advice, Terica. That is super helpful, I'm sure, for folks in the audience. I want to kind of tap into something that's come up a couple of times throughout our conversation, which is the topic of retail, which we find to be a really great way to drive opportunistic revenue. So if you're not already thinking about retail, maybe you've tried retail in the past, kind of shied away from it. I do want to kind of share, and this is something that we know from working with so many businesses here at Gloss Genius. Gloss Genius businesses who sell retail make 2 times more on average. So think about that. That might be, your sign to think about retail again. So I'm curious, any of you guys consider yourselves retail mavens? How do you drive retail sales, and what's your best hack for increasing profit from product sales? And maybe Kamila, let's start with you and get your take.
Well, for me, the biggest part of retail sales is education. I make sure to educate my clients not only on any, let's say, ingredients or formulations in general, but I always make sure to educate my clients on specific line and brand I keep in my treatment room and on my retail shelf. Because when clients see that I'm expertise in some particular products, if they see how confident I am, they are trusting me in more in my recommendations. So they wanted those exact products. Here's another, probably one of the best hack for me for the retail sales is that you do not want to overwhelm your clients with 10 different products at a time. What do you want to do instead? You want to pick 1, 2, 3 products, and you want to make sure you.
I think we're having a little feedback. Abby, I think maybe it's your mic. Do you mind going on mute for a second?
Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, Kamila. Go ahead.
So what I was talking about.
Good.
So yeah, you don't want to overwhelm your clients with 10 products. Instead, you better should choose, let's say, 1, 2, or maximum 3 products, which you think your clients will get most benefits right now. And you start to introduce those products already during your appointments. Let's say you start the facial, right? And you start slowly to ask your client, like, hey, do you use this specific product? For example, let's say vitamin C, or what brand of vitamin C you use, like that. So you start slowly to educate your clients on specific products, couple products. So whenever they're done with their facial, they already know what products they need and how they can fit it in their routine.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Kamila. That's so helpful. I actually, in the interest of time, we're starting to get close to the end here, which is crazy. Time has flown. We've been sharing so much cool stuff. So I want to kind of kick over to one more topic here. Sorry, Abby, I know your feedback's thank you. So one of the challenges in the Medspa space is navigating pricing. So, obviously this is an environment where, as we mentioned, there's a lot of overhead. We have to be very, cognizant of our costs. And so sometimes when you're giving a client a really extensive treatment plan, there can be a little bit of sticker shock. So I'm curious, how do you guys handle potential sticker shock and convert clients into loyal long-term customers despite, some of those potentially, early reactions? And Terica, maybe let's have you kick off.
I would say transparency. Transparency is kind of something I make sure because whenever you are doing high price services, clients see the transformation. They know they want it. They know, like, okay, I'm willing to do whatever to get there, but they see the price and they're like, oh my God, is this something that I really want to do? Even though like all the other signs are there. Transparency with pricing, and then transparency with ways I take payments. So whenever I'm doing my consultations, I go ahead and list out each individual area that I want to treat. I list out the pricing for each individual area so they know exactly where their money is going. I'm not just throwing a large price at you. And then at the end, I go over all my different payment options. One thing I really love about Gloss Genius is the buy now, pay later option. That has really helped me a lot. In addition to, so the Klarna Afterpay Affirm helps a lot, especially when you're having high price services. Clients see that they only have to pay like the small down payment and they're over time able to pay for their service. So that has really helped. And then also I do cherry payment plans as well. But the transparency of pricing and then letting them know, okay, before I'm asking for your money, let you know exactly all the different ways that we can take payment. So that they're not overwhelmed feeling that they have to, just make this large purchase at one time and don't really understand where their money is going.
Yeah, that combination of education plus some flexibility on payment options, I've definitely seen that be a really strong solution here. So thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. Abby, Kamila, any burning thoughts you guys want to share on this topic?
Well, Terica said it really well, and absolutely agree, because I feel like sticker shock happens mostly when the clients do not understand the value or logic behind the treatment plan. So you got to make sure you educate them on that, and you want to focus on the final results for them so they see where they're coming with this. And I also love how Terica said the buy now, pay later options, because I feel it gives my clients more freedom to commit without, the pressure of paying everything, all the amount upfront.
Thank you for sharing that, Kamila. And yeah, I know this has been mentioned twice now, but buy now, pay later is a relatively new feature with Gloss Genius. Again, for those of you who've not experienced the magic of Gloss Genius before, maybe you have in the past and you haven't seen some of the new features that are out. You can pay with Affirm, Afterpay, or Klarna through Gloss Genius, which has been really exciting for a lot of clients and for owners as well. And Abby, let's have you round us off. Any thoughts on this one?
So sorry guys for my mic. Having technical difficulties. But pay now, like pay after, I'm sorry, has been amazing, because right now everything that's going on with the economy, a lot of people are nervous, right? And they're a little bit nervous to spend on themselves. So that gives them a security that they're not going to be spending their whole check on me today. They know that they can pay it off slowly, and that gives them that security. And it makes me feel a little bit less guilty as well too. But I also make sure that I justify my price with providing value, right? So my price is what you're getting because I'm providing this value. And having multiple ways for your clients to pay, for example, if your card reader is not working or it's dead, you can type in their card. That has been really nice. Or even you can even use your phone as well, which I've done in the past where I could not find my card reader. And I'm like, you know what? I have a solution. Because they wanted to pay with I think Apple Pay, and they wanted to tap. Okay, don't freak out. I have this feature, and they thought it was the coolest thing ever. And when I first did it, I thought so too. So that's what I do.
Okay, amazing. Thanks, Abby. And I'll give one other plug for a newer feature at Gloss Genius, which is memberships. So that's another way to kind of spread out some of that, cost over time, where there's a sort of one-time upfront, and then it's like, okay, but you're booked in forever, for the foreseeable future, which is exciting. And then also too, you can offer kind of opportunistic discounts there. Hey, you're paying upfront for this membership. There is savings over time as it relates to that. So a lot of owners are taking advantage of memberships and packages as well with Gloss Genius. So sharing that one for you guys. Amazing. Well, we're into our last section now. I know we only have a little bit of time left. I want to save some time for our Q&A. But I want to kind of ask a little bit of a question here around scaling without chaos. So as med spas grow, we know that it's really critical that your systems grow with your business, and setting in place the right policies and technology can free up your time, protect your profit, and prepare your team for more expansion down the road. So I'm curious, when it comes to using Gloss Genius and trying to achieve this scale without chaos, what specific administrative processes have you been able to successfully automate or streamline with Gloss Genius, and what's been the impact for your business? Kamila, maybe let's start with you here.
For me, the biggest change was automating my client messages, all the reminders, confirmations, cancellation policy, no-show policies. Before that, I used to manually reach out to my clients to either confirm the appointment or remind them about the appointment if they would need any changes or to cancel the appointment. Now, Gloss Genius is doing that for me, and it's give a really big impact on my schedule, because it's first reduces no-shows. It's make clients more reliable to show up for the appointment. It's running smoothly in my schedule, and it also helped to deliver, I would say, more seamless experience to the client, of course, and it saves me a lot of more time.
Love that. I love hearing about those stories of, I was texting everybody, now I don't have to text everybody.
Yes.
And just that, the lift of removing that off of your plate.
That's a relief for us.
Yes. Terica, I wonder if you have any thoughts here.
I would say the wait list. The wait list is like, oh my God, it makes it so easy. Because it just kind of double backs after making sure that you send out the reminder. So you send out your reminder. Let's say a client needs to reschedule, a client isn't able to make it, a client needs to cancel. So that client cancels, and that waitlist automatically puts someone in their spot. You do not have to worry about texting, posting on Instagram, trying to book via DM. It just makes it so much easier and automated. And I just feel like I rarely have a day that I go to work and I have like a huge gap anymore. Whereas previously it would happen all the time. Because if my last reminder is a 48-hour reminder, if nobody was to book within those 48 hours for this specific time, now I have a hole in my schedule. But their wait list fills it every single time.
That's awesome, Terica. Love hearing that. Abby, any thoughts on your end here?
Yes, I love when before they book, they also sign the waiver too, that they're acknowledging your policy, which has been really helpful for me as far as cancellations, and also puts them, not, I wouldn't say pressure, but it makes them acknowledge my policy, which I really like. So my policy is on my website before they book, and then also on my like waiver forms has been really nice. I've been using that a lot actually, and I haven't had that many cancellations recently. Also, taking a deposit has been really nice as well too for myself. So even if a client were to not show up, I still feel like I got compensated, and that time that I drove to the studio didn't just get wasted. So both have been super helpful for me.
Incredible, Abby. Yeah, I think no show protection is the name of the game at Gloss Genius. We feel so strongly about protecting your guys' time and money with clearly articulated policies and easy to action, deposits and no show fees and all that. So thank you for sharing that. That's amazing. Okay, guys. Well, I am going to maybe ask you guys one more question because we're almost at time. Again, I want to make sure we get some of these questions in the chat answered. But as we look ahead for all of you guys in 2026, so much is on the horizon. I know all of you guys are on an astronomical growth path, so there's so much more to come. But I'd love to learn what's next for all of you in 2026. As you look ahead to next year, what is one major business challenge you anticipate? And how are you going to address it? How are you preparing? Maybe we'll start with you, Terica. How do you respond here?
I would say volume. Now that I've created these systems where everything just kind of flows, being able to actually handle the volume. I'm looking forward to what I love about Gloss Genius. You have teams, so you're able to add your team members. So just really being able to handle everything that has been put in place and now allowing me to have a larger clientele, a larger revenue. So I'm really excited. It's kind of like overwhelming, but also it's very exciting to know that a lot of the different systems that Gloss Genius has put in place has really put me in a better position financially, and being able to grow my business and really having just the blessing to even be able to expand and delegate.
That's awesome, Terica. I love this idea of you've laid the groundwork, you've got the framework in place, and you can keep growing easily because you've got those systems there for you. So thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. Kamila, any thoughts on your end?
Well, for me, it's probably the ways to grow and expand, because now when you already with the time feel more confident and you have that system which works for your business, so you already starting to look the ways to expand. And that's what I'm trying to do now. I expand services, hire more people, the way to expand. That's on what my goal for the next year.
Awesome. Exciting. Lots coming. I can't wait to see what happens next, Kamila. Cool. Abby, on to you.
I am ready to learn how to rest next year. I think this year was a very go, 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 go mode. I was really trying to build stability for myself, which also can lead to burnout. So next year, my goal is to delegate and to enjoy how to rest and to enjoy how to enjoy the fruits of my own labor and not always be on go, 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 go. Like my goal for next year is to have a really calm, secure nervous system so I can show up to my business super present.
Yeah.
And of course, I want to expand, and I'm thinking about ways that I can expand in my business, but also expand in other avenues and really trying to take this coaching serious and putting myself in different positions, not just in aesthetics, but as a content creator as well too, which if I will be taking a little bit more work, then I definitely cannot wait to hire an esthetician to take a little bit of that pressure off of me of being here all of the time. So yeah, I'm ready to start relaxing.
Love that. No, that's a great goal too, Abby. I think that's so important. You can't do more when you're running on empty, right? Like you can't do more with half a tank. So I want that for you, manifesting that for you in 2026. That's awesome. Cool, guys. Well, thank you so much for this. I'm going to share this quick kind of summary slide with the audience here. Guys, this is a great one to screenshot, so definitely consider doing that with some top takeaways from our conversation. But as a reminder, the 3 high-level things to take away here. Building a client-focused brand drives growth and drives trust. So all the ladies here had some great insights around that. So I want to highlight that as sort of pillar 1. Pillar 2, go deep on your metrics to start to uncover those hidden areas of potential revenue. Think about things like retail. Think about how you could be, selling people into retail a little bit better. Think about, tracking client retention, building that rebooking pipeline, and making sure that you're creating treatment plans that keep people booked in. Last thing I'll highlight here really quick is automating to scale without chaos. So Terica just highlighted this really great in her last answer, but getting those systems in place helps growth happen more easily down the road. So as you continue to scale, when you've already got systems in place that are keeping you organized, it only is easier rather than, hey, I need to pause while I'm already at this massive scale and rebuild my entire system. By the way, that happens too, but definitely start strong and grow with those systems that are in place for you. So those are our top takeaways. I want to also share before we dive into our Q&A. First of all, thank you to all of you guys, and we'll dive more into those questions, like I said. But if anything that we shared about Gloss Genius resonated with you tonight, I want to recommend you guys scan this QR code and book a free demo. So basically, we have folks on the team here at Gloss Genius who will do a personalized demo for you, walk you through the entire product, show you how it works. We're getting a lot of product questions in the chat. This is a great opportunity to meet with a real human being who will show you everything up close and personal, answer all of your questions. So definitely scan that QR. If it's easier to, maybe you're on your computer or your phone, you can also click this link. I just dropped it in the chat. That'll bring you to the same place. So either way, feel free to check it out. And our team is standing by, ready to talk to you guys and show you a little bit more. But with that, let's dive into our Q&A. So if you've got a question that hasn't been answered yet, feel free to drop it again. If I missed it, if the team missed it, I know we've been answering some of these in the chat. But I know we have a few questions. I know I saw one a little bit earlier about balancing it all. So, you guys are all super busy, multi-hyphenate kind of people. You've got a lot of different things going on. How do you find time for things like marketing when you are so busy and booked and working with clients too? I don't know if anybody wants to jump in and answer that one first, but throwing that one out there.
I would say batch creating. So just like whenever you know that you're about to have time, get all your before and afters, get all of anything that you want to create coming up soon, and create that in the time. So that way, when it's time to post, you don't have to figure out something to post. You just have a folder on your phone. For me, I have post ideas folder and then a ready to post folder. So batch creating, and then after this, I'm already dressed, so I'm probably gonna do a video. So I would say just making the most of your time and not just waiting until the moment to creating. I think that helps a lot.
Yeah. That's great advice. I've heard that from some other owners who I've been obsessed with that are Gloss Genius users, that they do content banking. They'll just get a lot of stuff when they have that moment to do it, and then they can kind of schedule it out. A little bit of advanced planning can go a really long way. Kamila, Abby, do you guys have any other tips for making space for marketing?
Well, I agree with Terica. It's very important to make a content plan a month ahead. It's one of the best hacks for content creators and social media marketing. You want to build the top of the all the month ahead and build every day what exactly you want to post and what exactly you're going to post on that day. So whenever it's time, you're not going to be rushing on the internet or ask ChatGPT, hey, what I should post today. You're already going to have your exact plan on what you should post and how you should post it. And sometimes maybe a little more expensive hack, but really helpful is to hire social media manager, because that's really gonna make you grow a lot, and that's probably the easiest. But as I said, a little bit more, of course, money consuming, but it's definitely worth it. So if you are just in the beginning of your journey, I would highly recommend to find a social media marketing if you are not feel confident in your marketing yet.
Awesome. Yeah, delegate, right? Sometimes that's the game.
Yeah, I do both. I like both. I actually just hired, well, my assistant, she helps me a lot when it comes to like creating Canva posts for like my email marketing or even for like my stories. And I tell her like, if I'm having a really busy day, I just give her my phone and tell her, please post this on my story. And I used to do it all by myself. And at some point you're going to learn, and it's a really good problem to have. When you get super, super busy, it's going to be really hard to make time for that, because you also got to make time for yourself, for your family, for your friends. So I've been trying to really learn that balance in delegating, and it is a little bit of more of an expensive hack. But what you can also do if you're beginning, and I've done it at the beginning of my career, was go on Etsy, and there's like already Etsy Canva posts that you can edit and make it your own, just to take the pressure off a little bit. If you are already a content creator and have been doing this for a while, what I like to do is batch create as well. I do it more on a weekly basis, if I'm being honest. But because I make sure that on Monday it's my admin day. So intentionally on Monday I'm editing, I am posting, and then I'm scheduling my posts throughout the week. So if we're talking about Reels and Instagram posts, I schedule that out, and you will start to learn your audience as far as when is your audience tuning into your content. So that's pretty much how I batch create and schedule my posts. Also, just delegating helps a lot, even if it's just even if you don't show up on your feed, show up on your stories. Show up on your stories, talk to your audience, talk to them, talk to your clients, because these are potential clients and people that are also getting to know you. And I think stories it takes away the pressure of it being perfect.
Right. It's not permanent. That makes sense. Cool. I know we're a little bit over time, but we have so many questions. I'm going to maybe pose one more to you guys. This one it's been asked in a couple of different ways. Some people have been talking about, hey, I'm just getting started. How do I fill my books at the beginning or get close to full in the beginning? What are your kind of best tips for getting new people booked into your business, whether it's at that very beginning or potentially a little further down the road? Any things coming to mind there for any of you guys? Oh, Abby, you're on mute. There you are.
Okay, I'm back. So because I moved locations, I already had my clientele, but I think about when I was first starting at the beginning, I created this excitement with everyone, not just my future clientele. I created that excitement with my family. I launched it like an actual brand. I put a lot of intention into making people feel excited for me and for this new business. And I was always talking about it. I was talking about it in conversation and networking. I'm like, hey, I'm an esthetician. Even if it's in the bathroom and you just got to put yourself a little bit out there, I'll make sure you're like, hey girl, here's my business card. So doing that in-person marketing really does help, because you're able to actually show your personality, and giving them a business card is going to help them get to your website and see how professional you look. And of course, having that portfolio already in that before and after pictures. So for me, what I did at the beginning is I took a lot of models in just to film content, just to put my work out there. I was filming, I was taking these models in, and these models became actual future clients because they like the service so much. So besides social media, word of mouth is really, really, really powerful. Yep. So tell your family and friends to shout you out. And if they don't, that's fine. Go to vendor events. I've done that and it works. Go to networking events. Go on Facebook, literally look at groups and literally network, put yourself out there and make friends in the industry. We all deserve to grow together, and making friends in the industry has taken me a long way, because we're able to one, exchange services for ourselves, but also we're able to exchange clients, and they like my service. I'm thinking about my hairstylist right now, and I'm like, she talks about how good her skin, and her skin is showing, right? So her clientele is seeing her progress in her skin, which makes them want to book with me. So yeah, I get connected.
Love that.
I totally agree with you, Miguel. You just gotta consistently show up everywhere you can. Networking is a great way to expand yourself and to expand. To introduce yourself to the new people. And also, what I can add is you want to try to find something special about you. Either that would be like some facial massage, for example, or you have a new technique, or you have something like if you do lashes, you do some new method or something. You want to show something which will stand you out from other providers and other beauty artists, so you can be something different from other people, and you want to find something special about yourself. And of course, you want to make sure you run a lot of ads. Again, it's a little bit money consuming, but when it comes to the social media marketing, you want to run some ads. And also do not hesitate to ask your clients about the Google reviews, because Google reviews are bringing a lot of clients. Not a lot of people pay attention to that. Just believe me, it's not going to hurt you if you ask your client, hey, can you please leave me a Google review, or send them the text message. And the Gloss Genius now let the clients to do direct reviewing from the app. So that's when it became easier. So just don't hesitate to ask your clients. They will be totally fine. It's not going to hurt neither you or them.
Yeah, and they honestly, they want to help you. Like most clients, like help you, right? So I think that's great. And Gloss Genius also, to your point, automates it, so you don't even necessarily have to ask face to face. You can take that awkward piece off your plate.
For sure. Yeah.
Terica, I'll let you chime in with any last thoughts. I know we're at time here, but yeah, I'm curious your take.
I would say first starting what Abby said, taking models. Don't expect when you first start out, you don't have any clientele to be able to jump to having that higher pricing. Be willing to take models. Taking models, even if it's a product costs, it's more so you trying to build a brand and build a clientele at this time than to have like a financial reward. Another thing too, I feel like they extremely helped me is whenever I first started my first like sale per se, I had a requirement that you had to share the sale with another customer. So whether it's you posted it to your Instagram story, or you reposted it on TikTok, you brought a friend in with you, you had to, in order to get that sale price, you had to share it with someone else. And when I tell you that filled my book so fast. So those are a couple small things, but just don't be afraid to kind of start and be consistent. And once you start, know that you can't just like start at the bottom and just go straight to the top. You do have to put the work in, but if you do stay consistent with putting the work in, 100%, you will like reap the reward.
That's awesome. Yeah, Terica, I always love that piece of advice from owners. The consistency is key. I think that's very real, and just putting that hard work in matters so much in the end. So thanks for sharing that. I know we're over time. I want to thank our panelists, Terica, Abby, Kamila, for their time, for staying a little late to answer some questions. I feel like we covered so much ground. I hope everyone in the audience is feeling inspired. They're going to turn around and do some cool things for their business. I want to kind of expand this window again really quickly. Again, this QR code is our Get Demo link. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about Gloss Genius, feel free to scan this. Again, the team is standing by and they can't wait to meet with you and show you a little bit more about how the software works. But all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the program tonight, and we'll be sharing a recording via email too, so you can rewatch. But thank you all. Thanks, panelists. Thanks, Abby, Kamila, Terica. It was great to see you guys.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Well, have a good evening, everyone. Goodbye.
So much.
Bye.
Bye.